All right, y'all. I'm gonna try. I've never tried these Tsunami Sabikis before, so I'm gonna give this a shot. I've got a Sabiki rod here. I'll show you what that means in a minute. But first thing I'm gonna do is you take the swivel. There's two ends. There's a swivel like that, and then there's a snap swivel. That's where the snap swivel is where the weights go. But you tie your line to the swivel. I'm just going to do a good old-fashioned I forget what the heck it's called. Fisherman's knot. I forget what it's called. Improved something. Little spit. Tighten that down. Then you get the you open up your snap. I'm going to put two, I think these are 1/2 ounce little weights on the snap swivel, close it. Now should be able to just pull these out. Nope. All right, you go from the swivel side and you pull them out, and they pull right out of the package. Put that there. All right, now let me show you something. You can get a Sabiki rod like this where the line goes directly from the reel into a hole, and the line goes all the way up inside of the rod out the top. So that way, when you reel your Sabiki in, the Sabikis go right in the tip like this, and they don't snag on anything. And this rubber thing, Thomas, do me a favor. Just real slowly reel that in, so that they slide right in that tip without, go ahead, without catching on anything. And that way you can save your Sabiki at the end of the day without it snagging on everything, because Lord knows Sabiki snag on everything. All right, guys, yell like crazy if you guys hook up here. I'm gonna go try and find some bait. There's a rock over here. All right, guys, let's see how the Sabiki rod, Tsunami Sabiki, works. Oh, I think I got some. Yeah. Yeah. First time ever, guys, using Tsunami Sabiki. There we go, baby. 3 baits. Thomas, you want a live one? Okay. Look at that. Beautiful bait. I'm gonna go grab one of those buckets. Hey, bring me the orange bucket. You'll get the gist. There's bait all over the place. I'm gonna show you guys how this works. This guy's a little dude. Check out the size difference. All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, you want to use him?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Fact. Yeah. Here's the ploppers. I'm gonna get new ones. This guy or that guy?
No, put him in there for a second. I'll take him out in a second.
Yeah. You can leave this thing open. Okay. I'm gonna give a Oh yeah. They're taking drag. These pilchards are so big, they're taking drag. Oh, look at you. Oh my gosh. Magical. Look at that. That's a big boy. Well, there's a little, like a little dork jack. Not what we want. Watch this. Sometimes I have some on, guys, but I'm leaving them on, leaving them in the water so that I can get more bang for the buck. Let's see, 2. They're not the big ones. It's something. Unfortunately, these are the littler guys. I mean, we'll take them, but we're hoping for the big guys, the big pilchards. But beggars cannot be choosers. Oh, well, I had one big one on there. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, he's taking drag, baby. That pilchar's taking drag. Oh, that pilchar's taking drag. That's awesome. Here. That thing is massive. When a pilchard is the size of Eric Purdick's hand.
You can fillet this guy.
That is a great bait right there, guys.
Cool. Look at that sucker, man.
Oh man, fantastic. You get a dozen more of them. Yeah, as soon as the thing touches the water, they're all over it. Sometimes you kind of jerk it a little bit and it... Oh yeah, big boy, big boy, big boy, big boy. You.
Oh, mama.
D-hooker would be good. I should have brought one. Oh yeah. Drag taker. Drag taking pilchards, baby. Oh, big.
This is another example of catch and release. Oh, there he goes. Oh. Gotta get him on the shoreline right away.
Yeah.
This is catch and release, man. Catch and then release him right into our bait bucket.
That's right. Oh gosh, they're pulling drag. Ah, I had 3 big ones on. Look at the size of these pilchards. Jeez. That's a big pilchard, man.
You said they're like this all in your childhood?
In my childhood, they were like this on Delray Beach all the time.
Crazy.
Yep.
I'm gonna go put this guy.
Yeah, yeah, go ahead. These guys did me wrong here. They twisted me up. This is probably the biggest reason. Here, take him.
So let's rip him off and throw him the herring.
Yeah, this right here, guys, is the biggest reason I don't use sabikis. You know, you get a couple baits on, they start flopping around, and these things tangle up like crazy. So I've gotten fairly good at getting these out over the years, but the Tsunami rig is so cheap that now it's actually, I don't feel bad losing one. They're, you know, $1 and change. They used to be
$5 ones in the base top.
yeah, you buy a $5 rig and you lose it like this because of a twisty pilchard. There's plenty of twisted people around, but when you get a twisted pilchard, that's a problem. There we go. Got it out. Almost. All right, guys, I'm gonna get a couple more. Call it a day. Pilchard schools by the beach are always hang out near structure. So there's a rock right here, and there's miles and miles of sand beach on each side, and there's just this one rock where there's, like, I guess used to be a coral head, and now it's on the beach. But the pilchards are all over here, and it's a pretty famous rock. I'll leave it unnamed because I just don't want everybody and their mother coming to this one little spot, but I'm sure somebody will spoil it in the comment section. But I'm gonna keep catching bait. There we go. Best thing to do when you get stringer full of baits, first thing you do is grab the weight to keep them from. Yeah. You grab the weight to keep the weight from swinging around and tangling everything up. If I don't have a D-hooker with me, but if I did, that would probably be.
Hello, I'm the D-hooker.
Eric is a 6'3" D-hooker. Good. So yeah, this is actually a star rod. I think this combo, I bought this combo at Bass Pro Shop. Oh, look at that. Full stringer. Oh, 2 just dropped off. 3 just dropped off. I just bought, while Eric de-hooks these, I bought this combo at Bass Pro for like probably 120 bucks one year. I've had it for a long time, but I don't typically use it. Usually I just throw a cast net and get all the baits I need, but because I want to show you guys, some people just aren't comfortable, they never get used to the cast net thing, and if you prefer a sabiki,
it's also good from a pier or when the baits are swimming out past the
yeah, if you're on a boat and you know, or at a pier or a jetty or an inlet, this is a great thing to have. It is a little bit of a pain, I'll be honest with you. You can't cast it very far, at least with the, it's not really, I guess you could put more weight on it, but the line is very light, so you got to be careful how much weight you put on there. Of course the big one comes off. I don't want these little guys. Sometimes you can shake the little guys off. Okay guys, I'm going to show you what this Tsunami Sabiki is. I get the really tiny one. See how small these hooks are? You want the small hooks for pilchards. The bigger hooks, you know, you get more blue runners and stuff like that, little blue runners and jacks. If you want pilchards, sardines, you know, cigar minnows, that kind of thing, that's what you want. They come with 6 hooks. I broke one off, but you know, guys, I used to pay for the Hayabusa Sabiki brand like $5-6 for one of these, and now I can get the Tsunami brand at Walmart for $1.85, and that is way more reasonable to me. Like if you, I'm gonna try and use this again. So it's if you lose it, it's not a big deal, or if you have to throw it away because it gets tangled up, you're losing $1.80 instead of $5 or $6. So I like the Tsunami. Obviously they work every bit as good as the more expensive one. I just proved that to you. As soon as the thing touches the water, I'll show you one more time just in case you've forgotten. As soon as it touches the water, if you're around the baitfish, you're gonna get them. So guys, hope you like the video. Give me a thumbs up if you like catching live pilchards. Thumbs up. Till next time, watch your lip.